Hello everyone, it's Godzilla Prime here with a little video, and today we are taking a look at waves 1 and 2 of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Godzilla crossover figures. These are probably some of the last Turtles figures that Playmates are going to be making, because sadly they have lost the license for Turtles going forward, I think from 2027. There is this line coming out, and then there is a G.I. Joe crossover line coming out later this year as well. As I am both a Turtles fan and a Godzilla fan, these figures were high up on my want list, and this weekend I was very lucky to be able to get them because Wave 1 was on sale and Wave 2 had just come out at Smith's. Now, I am kind of hoping we are going to get a Wave 3 out of these, because when I was in Preston this weekend, I stopped off in HMV to try and find some of these figures actually, and they had the blind keychain bag things that you can buy, and on the back of the packaging it showed not only the figures, or the super deformed size versions of these figures, but it also showed 3 other figures, which was Bebop, Rocksteady, and April O'Neil. Bebop was Destroyer. I can't remember who... No, sorry, Rocksteady was Destroyer. I can't remember which one Bebop was. And April O'Neil was Mothra. So hopefully, before Playmates do lose the license completely, we are going to get a 3rd wave of these figures just to round things off. It would be nice if that did happen. Now, here, Wave 1 consists of Leonardo as Godzilla, Raphael here at the back as Rodan, and then Michelangelo here in the corner as King Ghidorah. We then have Donatello as Jet Jaguar as part of Wave 2, Shredder as Mechagodzilla as well as part of Wave 2, and Splinter as King Caesar to round things off. So I'm going to go through each figure in turn, and we'll see what they're like. Okay, so just so I can get a decent view of these as I'm doing the review of them, I've just broken out my trusty brown box to pop the figures on because my stand doesn't go down low enough. So we're starting off with my favorite out of all of them, and my favorite turtle and favorite kaiju all rolled into one, which is Leonardo as Godzilla. So in place of atomic breath for Godzilla, what you have here are his katanas, which are in this clear blue plastic around them to simulate Godzilla's atomic breath, and they're made of a semi-soft plastic, so they're not that bad. And if I just take one out, you can have a really good look at it like that. So it's just a nice piece of molded silver plastic, nice blue flames, and then a little blue handle. And I have no issues with how that looks in any way, shape, or form. I'll just take out his other one as well. So I have to admit, I wasn't too sure how articulated these were going to be, but I was actually quite surprised when I got them out of the box. Just starting off with the head sculpt there, a nice angry Godzilla look to him. And then there's nice, like, scaly details, texturing to the whole skin. You got his turtle shell here with those classic Godzilla spikes, and then a tail which attaches on the back there. Now, in regard to articulation, the head is on a ball joint, so it will swivel all the way around, and you can get him to look up a little bit and look down a little bit as well. The arms are on a ball joint, and you can get a full 360 out of those, and you do also get movement at the elbows as well. The hands are not articulated, but they are made of a soft plastic, so you can bend them very easily to get the weapons in there. He's got his traditional blue belt with the yellow L on there as well. The legs will only go a certain way because of how this figure's designed. They'll go that far back, and I wouldn't really want to go any further back than that. There is movement at the knee as well. And you do also get a little foot motion, but it's only really from side to side. So posability with this guy is a little bit difficult because obviously it's meant to simulate Godzilla, and Godzilla doesn't really have a lot of articulation in the legs, shall we say. But all in all, I really do like the look of this figure. It looks, it's trying to be menacing, I suppose, at the end of the day, but it doesn't quite work. But still, a very, very nice figure. The tail will turn as well if you want it to at the back, but aside from that, that's it. But, slightly limited articulation, but a lot of nice little details more than anything. So again, a very, very nice figure. Then we have Raphael as Rodan. This is probably in some ways my least favorite figure in a way, because he is very top heavy with just how he's designed, and the wings are completely attached to the arms here, so you can't detach them to give him more motion, because the wings do kind of limit him in some ways as to how far you can stretch his arms a little bit, but it's not too bad. He comes with these very nice fire size. I was having to remember the neck. And again, lots of nice molded detail to make him look more like Rodan. And then obviously you've got the two clawed feet here at the bottom also. And again, he comes with his red belt with the R. And the face is a very nice mixture of Raphael and Rodan's classic beak with the twin horns at the back. The wings are, and his tail, he does have a little bit of a tail here at the back, are made of this clear orange plastic. But yeah, I really do quite like this one as well. Again, the head is on the same sort of ball joint as Leonardo, so you can spin it all the way around if you wanted to. The legs will not go all the way back, but they can go forward. And again, he does have movement at the knee. I've got to be careful because these figures are only just fresh out the packaging, but they're not too brittle. Not brittle anyway, shape or form. It's just they're a bit stiff because they're new. But yeah, you've got to be a bit careful with him because he will, if you're not careful, he will topple back. You've got to get him just right in order to get him to stand up. And I do find if you have him like this, with the size in the air like that, he will stand up a lot better. So again, nice figure. Not my favorite out of the lot, but it is still a very, very nice figure. Then we move on to the largest of the figures, just because of his wingspan. We have Michelangelo as King Ghidorah. Now, I have to be honest, I was a little surprised that they didn't do Shredder as King Ghidorah, because obviously in most Godzilla films, when he does show up, King Ghidorah is in fact the bad guy, with the exception of one film in the Millennium Trilogy, I think. I can't remember what it's called. It's some sort of long-winded title. But again, a very, very nice figure. Lots of nice molded details. He's got Ghidorah's horns on the top there, and these two massive clear yellow plastic wings on the back, and two tails as well, exactly like Ghidorah. I love the fact that with all these figures, they've incorporated enough elements from the turtles and the kaiju to blend them together very, very well. They've done a great job of this. I mean, the head sculpts on these first three turtles, especially with Leonardo and Michelangelo, and then on Raphael, if I get him in here, they're all very, very similar. Raphael's is the most different because obviously he's beak, but these two have a very similar head sculpt. But yeah, Michelangelo's very, very nice indeed. He comes with his nunchucks, which are in this clear plastic, which I'm guessing is meant to like symbolize Gojira's energy beams that he blasts from his mouth in the films and stuff. One other thing you can do, and I don't think the figure looks very good like this, is if you just pop off one of the nunchucks, you can take off the shoulder blades. And then what you can do is you just twist the hands around and put the head on there, and it's meant to then be like he's got 3 heads. I may have this wrong slightly, but that's what it's meant to look like, but I don't like it like that. I just prefer to keep these as his shoulder pads on there, and then the nunchucks in each hand. And again, like with Raphael and with Leonardo, the hands are a softer plastic, so you can just move them apart a little bit and then get the weapons in there. And again, he's a big figure, mostly because of his wingspan. But yeah, I really do like this one as well. I think it's really, really cool. With the head, again, same sort of articulation. The shoulder pads do get in the way a little bit, but not too much. The arms, well, you'll knock that off for starters if you do that. But the arms are on a 360 ball joint, but obviously because of the wings, you can't get them to go back that far. But that's not a major problem at the end of the day. And then with the feet, the legs, if I get them the right way around, because I did maneuver them, you can get forward motion, a little bit of back motion, bend at the knee, and then you've got some foot swivel as well, but not a great deal. So yeah, nice figure. Love the details, and I love how they've blended the two characters. I was just, like I said, I was very surprised that they went for Michelangelo's King Ghidorah and not Shredder, but there you go. Then we have Donatello as Jet Jaguar, and he also comes with a mini version of Jet Jaguar as well. Now, I only know about Jet Jaguar from watching the Godzilla Singularity Netflix series that came out a couple of years ago. I do wish they'd make a second season of that show, but I just don't think it's going to happen. The mini Jet Jaguar has absolutely no posability, but I have to admit, it is really, really well painted. It's got all these wonderful little details painted onto it. You can even see the D on the belt there, which is really, really cool. Now, if you're wondering why there is a small version of Jet Jaguar with the larger version, I believe the reason is that when he appears in the films or comic books or whatever, he's able to grow from this size to this size. I think that's the reason why, but I could be wrong. Like I say, I'm not very familiar with Jet Jaguar myself. Donatello, though, looks really, really good as Jet Jaguar, as the robot. Lots of nice painted details on there. You've got the shell on the back as well. And his typical staff is now an energy weapon, which he can wield. Again, all the same posability. The head on the ball joint, like so. The arms on a full 360 swivel. The legs can go forward. You've got the movement at the knee. It will go back a little bit, but not a lot. One other thing you can do is you can take the staff apart so it splits in two. And then if you want, you can stick these in his feet so it looks like he's flying through the air on thrusters. I don't know if that's a thing Jet Jaguar did before in anything, but it's something you can do. And at the same time, if you want, I guess you can have them as two handheld energy weapons as well, if you wanted to do that. So again, another really nice figure, really nice details. It just looks like a lot of fun at the end of the day. Then moving on to Master Splinter as King Caesar. Now, I know very little about King Caesar. I know he appeared in one film in the Showa era, and that's about it. He's probably, out of all of them, even with Donatello, you could tell that was Donatello, quite frankly. This one, you really wouldn't be able to tell that this is Master Splinter. I've had a look at pictures of King Caesar, and this is pretty much what King Caesar looks like in the film he appeared in. But again, it's a the only reason you can tell it's Master Splinter really is because he's wearing this red overall thing that he wears in all his incarnations. He does have a tail, which can go from side to side. The legs on this one are a little bit different because of how they're shaped. Obviously, they're shaped like Master Splinter's hind legs, but they still look good. The head will not swivel very much at all because of just how it's built. He's got this long mane at the back here. The arm will go up a bit and all the way around. This hand has a closed fist, but again, it's very nicely molded. And then this hand is open for his tree weapon, which I'm guessing if you flip it upside down would also double as a walking stick for him too. The legs go forward a little bit, go back a little bit. You've got a little bit of motion at the knee, and the foot doesn't really move much at all again, just from side to side, and a little bit of up and down movement. So all in all, although you wouldn't know it was Master Splinter unless it said so on the box, it's still a really nice figure, and they have tried to put in a couple of details there that will make it familiar to people. And then finally, we get on to the last figure in Wave 2, which is Shredder as Mecha Godzilla. Now, this is probably meant to be more like the Mecha Godzilla from the Showa era, not the Heisei era, or the Millennium era, but still, in some ways, I suppose, having Shredder be Mecha Godzilla makes a lot of sense just because of Shredder's armor and everything in the cartoon series. But again, a really nice figure. I love the fact that they did at least give him a very small cape at the back here, and then they've modeled his head to look more like Shredder's helmet. And then you've got, obviously, Shredder's very famous spike weapons down the arm. And on his legs as well. So, yeah, a really, really nice one. I think this is probably my second favorite out of the lot. The head, again, ball joint swivel. It will go all the way around. No up motion, no down motion. The arms will turn a full 360 as long as you've got the arms in a certain way. Again, he's got movement at the elbow here. The hands will spin on this one as well. There is no weapon accessory because his weapons are in his nose. Legs will go forward. They will go back a bit. There is movement at the knee a little bit, and the foot will also pivot forward and back a little bit as well. So yeah, a really nice crossover figure. Now, I have to admit, this is probably not going to be everyone's cup of tea, whether you're a Turtles fan or a Godzilla fan or whatever. But what attracted me to these figures the most, if I just put those three there, what attracted me to these figures the most is the fact that they're not very serious. It's a very silly crossover, crossing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles over with, massive kaiju figures. It's just daft and silly and fun. And that's what these figures are. They're daft, silly, fun. They're made more to be played with, I think, than to be displayed. But even as just display pieces, I think they really do work just to show off the utter bonkersness of having this kind of a crossover. Turtles with Grace, with Masters of the Universe, worked really, really well, and they did those figures brilliantly. And they were done in a way that crossed, with the Turtles having the armor, but still looking like the Turtles. And then, the other characters mutated by the mutagen. That was a believable crossover. This is an unbelievable crossover because it's just utterly ridiculous to think that, Leonardo merges into Godzilla. Michelangelo merges into King Ghidorah. I mean, if I get one of the boxes here, and that's something I actually didn't go over with, is the boxes for these things. They all come in exactly the same box. This is the box for Leonardo, and it says there Leo X Godzilla, King of the Mutants. And then you've got the Turtles logo at the top there with the Godzilla logo. And then you've got this very nice destroyed New York City landscape with mutagen coming out the pipes and pizza here. And you got this really cool piece of artwork on the back of Leo, Raph, Donnie, and Mikey as the kaiju. I mean, it even says at the top of the box here, 1/1200th scale. I'm sure I can find some 1/1200th buildings online to model with these guys. I'm pretty sure I could. But yeah, and then it just gives this little description here. 30 stories high, breathing fire, they're half shells in the sky. It's the Turtles X Godzilla. Monsters and mutants mash up in this epic crossover, combining elements from the classic 1987 series with the nostalgia styling of the 1978 Godzilla animated TV series. I didn't know there was a 1978 Godzilla animated TV series. I'll have to check that out. But anyway, yeah, it's a really daft, fun, goofy toy line. It's not meant to be taken seriously. It's meant to be a bit of fun, and I think it really does work very, very well. I'm definitely glad I added these to my collection for the very simple reason they just put a smile on my face whenever I look at them, because I just think how utterly ridiculous and bonkers of a crossover this is. But hey, let me know in the comments section, is Turtles with Godzilla something you've thought about getting? I really do hope we get a wave 3 with the final 3 characters I mentioned before. That would be really, really cool. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. But let me know in the comments section. Is this a toy line you'd like? Is this a toy line you'd hate? Let me know. Hit like, hit subscribe. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video, and have a very, very nice day.